Well, hello there, Sadia. So Canadore just put the finishing touches on their new gym facility.
Wow, just in time for the home opener for the varsity basketball team, and I believe the volleyball team as well.
Yeah, you know what? The Canadore basketball team will be in action. They're going to be playing host to the Sheridan Bruins, and I'm expecting big things out of the Panthers squad this year. They look good out there, and I'm definitely excited to see them play. And as for the volleyball team, they'll be at their home opener as well against the defending national champions, the Humber Hawks. So they're definitely going to have a wild one on their hands there.
Well, I'm sure that gym will be well used. I'd have to go and look at it sometime. Is it open to everyone?
You know what? It certainly is. Fitness fanatics at Canadore can finally hit the gym again. Kyle Mywaart reports that the College Drive facility is finally open and ready for use.
After 5 long months, the renovations at Canadore College's gym are complete. Occurring throughout the summer, the renovations focused on updating the 4-decade-old facility. The most prominent change was the replacement of the old hardwood floor, which had been in place for 40 years. Athletic Facilities and Program Coordinator Joey Rayner says the new floor will be much more user-friendly.
It's going to be a lot better for athletes. It'll help prevent a lot of injuries. The old floor was basically wood right on cement, and so very stiff. This has 2 layers of plywood and cushioning under that, and I think it's going to be great for our athletes and gym users.
In addition to having the floor redone, the weight room was expanded and the men's locker room received a new splash of life. Receiving new lockers and a fresh coat of paint, the change room is now ready for use along with the rest of the facility. Varsity basketball player Shane Cooks is happy with the renovations and is excited to finally be using the new gym.
You know, we came here using another school's gym, and it just feels great to have your own home to go to as a team, and I'm loving the new paint and all the black, and it's going to be good. It's going to be good playing here this year for sure.
The new gym floor will get its first varsity use when the men's basketball team plays host to the Sheridan Bruins on November the 3rd. For Canadore Newsnet, I'm Kyle Mywaart.
In some local sports, the North Bay Junior Trappers have risen up through the rankings in the CJHL standings for winning percentage. They are now ranked 11th out of 128 teams that comprise the entire Canadian Junior Hockey League. Their record of 8-4-1 is good for a .769 winning percentage. And in Game 4 of the AL Championship Series between the Detroit Tigers and New York Yankees, it was postponed because of some stormy conditions Wednesday night. This game has been rescheduled for this afternoon at 4 p.m. The Detroit Tigers are seeking a sweep as they currently lead the series 3-0. It featured some masterful pitching by Tigers ace Justin Verlander, and today's game will be hosting some big names as well, as Yankees ace CC Sabathia takes on the hard-throwing strikeout machine Max Scherzer. The Cardinals pulled ahead of the Giants last night with the help of Matt Carpenter's 2-run blast early in the game. Game 4 will be played tonight around 8 p.m. They will be turning to 2-time Cy Young winner Tim Lincecum. And moving on to some NFL news. Tonight we will see the Seattle Seahawks travel to the San Francisco Bay to take on the 49ers in a huge division game. Both clubs come into play with a stellar identical record of 4-2, which is tied for first in the NFC West division. But moving along, here's a little bit of sports trivia for you. Today we wanted to know, in light of Sunday's kickoff return for a touchdown in the Ravens-Cowboys game, we wanted to know who holds the record for the longest touchdown return in NFL history. Jacoby Jones of the Baltimore Ravens tied an NFL record with a 108-yard kickoff return in Sunday's 31-29 beatdown over the Cowboys. Can you name the other 2 players that share this amazing feat?
Well, I do know one of them. It was Ellis Hobbs of the New England Patriots. I believe set the NFL record for a 108-yard touchdown kickoff against the New York Jets.
You know what? You're absolutely right. And the other one was Green Bay's Randall Cobb, and he matched that feat in the Packers season opener in his first ever NFL game, and it was on September 8th, 2011.
Well, that's actually an amazing stat. Let's see if we'll break it next week. Thanks for that, Mitch. Coming up after the break, Mike Ball speaks with North Bay's Habitat for Humanity Chair, John Humble.
Welcome back to Canadore Newsnet. I'm sitting with chair member John Humble from Habitat for Humanity for North Bay, and he is here to speak with me about building homes in the area. Welcome to the show, John.
Thank you, Mike.
So, what does Habitat for Humanity do?
We build homes for low-income families. We provide an interest-free mortgage for them so that they can take pride in home ownership and own a home that they otherwise wouldn't be able to afford.
When was the business first created?
In North Bay, this is our 6th year. We were founded in 2006, and it's been around since 1975 in the States and 1985 in Canada.
Wow. How many homes have Habitat for Humanity built in North Bay?
In North Bay, we are planning to build our 5th home next spring, so we have constructed 4 so far.
How are people chosen as recipients for the homes that you build?
We have an application process, and we're looking for families, first of all, who can afford to pay a mortgage and all of the fees associated with home ownership. They must be willing to partner with Habitat for Humanity, and they have to be willing to put in 500 hours of sweat equity before they move into their home.
So how do you get volunteers?
Volunteers, if you ask any volunteer organization, that is a tricky question. We advertise, and it's word of mouth. When we have a build, the volunteers tend to come out en masse. At other times, it's just asking around, posting ads, and looking at our website.
All right. How is funding provided to these homes?
We essentially rely on donations, and we do fundraising. Each home costs, I may be jumping a question here, but each home costs roughly $50,000 to $100,000. We have to fundraise for the rest, and we hold the mortgage on the home. So once we have a number of homes, we're able to build, with the income coming in for the mortgage, we're able to build more. How
much money do you usually get from donations each year?
It varies from year to year. We may make up to $20,000 a year in donations, fundraisers.
So how does the program benefit families in the community?
From my experience, and I've only been with the board, this is my 3rd year, I think what we see is that the homeowners become very proud, and we give them a hand up, not a handout. So because of that, they become tax-paying members of the community, and their outlook on life is much better. They're good members of the community.
So what if a family decides to sell their house a few months after they get it? Like, what happens?
It is their home. However, we have written into our mortgage clauses that we have the right of first refusal, which means they have to offer to sell it to us at fair market value if they decide to put it on the market.
So are families required to make payments for these homes?
Absolutely. They have a mortgage like any other homeowner. The difference is there's no interest on their mortgage because we hold the mortgage.
How is the land required for these homes?
That is a challenge as well. Some other communities' land is donated. We have to buy the lands, and the average cost of a lot in North Bay is $50,000 if it's serviced, so it's a very expensive proposition.
What is one thing that you enjoy most about your job?
I would say the variety, getting to meet a lot of people, and the surprises that I encounter, like the young lady who came to me this summer and said, I want to bike across Canada for Habitat, and raised $4,000 in the process.
How are the homes built?
They're built by volunteers. We have a qualified tradesperson. In fact, Canadore is a partner of ours, and we have framers and carpenters who supervise our volunteers who do the actual building.
So how big are the homes that you build?
The homes on average are about 1,000 square feet, sometimes 1,100 square feet.
How many homes has Habitat for Humanity built in North Bay?
In North Bay, this is our 4th home.
Are there many people in North Bay that donate money?
There are a lot, and it comes from a variety of sources. Sometimes it's anonymous donations, sometimes it's through the website, and sometimes it's at our fundraisers.
All right. How long does it take to build a house?
Depends on the weather. We're subject to the weather. If it's a rainy season, it will take us a little bit longer. It's also subject to the number of volunteers we have who show up on any given day. On average, I would say we start in May, and the families move in at the end of November.
All right. And how much does it cost to build a house?
To build a house, it's going to vary between $50,000 and $100,000, depending on whether the land is donated or if we have to buy it.
All right. So what does the organization have to gain from giving away homes?
We have nothing to gain except the satisfaction knowing that we gave a family a hand up and that we're giving back to the community. None of the money that comes in, we don't have any paid staff, so all of the money that comes in, we turn back into building homes for people so that they can have clean, decent, affordable housing.
All right. Well, John, I want to thank you for coming onto the show today. To check out our previous newscasts and stories, you can visit theclaw.ca. Canadore Newsnet has been produced by the students in the journalism and television programs. That's all for our show today. Thank you for watching, and I'm Mike Ball.